I want you guys to understand that this video comes from a place of love. I have nothing but respect in my heart for Bethesda. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I think Blizzard Entertainment and Bethesda are two of the best game development companies ever, and I am a huge, passionate fan of both. Particularly to Bethesda, I still enjoy Fallout 76. I do play Blades every day. I love both of those games. I love what they're trying to do. Now, I say that because this video is not clickbait. It's not a hate train. It's not a, hey, let's vote this guy up because he's making fun of stuff and it's cool to hate. No. This comes from a passionate, which is a fat passionate, that's me, a passionate fan who wants to see Bethesda thrive and succeed, primarily for selfish reasons, because I love what they do. And I don't think the studio is going anywhere. I don't think there's any dire financial straits that we need to be worried about. But I really wanted to kind of talk about my perceived feelings on on what Bethesda's been really up to. And it's confusing to me because their advertising in particular has been very, very odd. Now, a couple years ago, primarily because of really bad leaks and a lot of insider information spoiling the goods on Bethesda, they made the conscious decision to stop giving out release copies for their games. Well, that does a few things. Number one is game reviewers don't have time to review a game prior to launch, so you don't really necessarily know what the review scores are going to be on opening day. A lot of times we see the term review embargo floating around, where a game studio gives a game out to developers, they're allowed to play it, but they can't break the embargo until a certain set date and time. Well, by Bethesda removing a lot of these early reviews, and every so often you see some of them pop up for various games, but largely they said no, everybody's going to get the game at once. And I think that hurt things in a sense that a lot of people trust their favorite websites, although I think you're seeing a lot less of that. Me personally, there were websites that I used to frequent every day that I don't really go to at all anymore. I like to get a lot of my news from Twitter. There's a couple smaller channels on YouTube that I follow that I think are much more truthful than some of the big box reviewers, but that's just me. I can't speak for everyone. But a lot of people do like that, so I think that hurts their overall sales and just the hype, just the feeling of it, Buzz is in the air on certain games. Everybody's talking about this game. Everybody's talking about that game. But not a lot of people are talking about Bethesda games, with the exception of Doom Eternal. So today at QuakeCon, the big Quake anniversary was really actually focused on Doom. It's actually the Doom 25th anniversary. And among other things, they announced the new battle mode upcoming for Doom Eternal. And they also announced a release of Doom, Doom 2, and Doom 3 on all platforms, including the Switch and cell phones, which is a very interesting move. I'm actually kind of curious how that's going to play out. Now, I've already bought all three on Switch. They're downloading over there. I can't wait to dive into them. I love Doom. I love everything about Bethesda. You can't talk about a first-person shooter without talking about Doom. It was a right price point. I jumped right into it. That game doesn't really need a lot of advertising because Doom is really ingrained in our DNA. And we all know that retro is in, and we all know nostalgia is a very powerful drug. So no problem there. But in a game like Wolfenstein Youngblood that I was eating lunch today with a couple buddies, none of them even knew that game existed. It's kind of sad because this is a new direction for Bethesda. They're trying new mechanics. They hired Arcane Studios to kind of help the map design, to make the game a little more open. It's primarily designed to be a co-op adventure with another friend. They implemented the Buddy Pass, where one person buys the game, another person can jump on and play for free, essentially. These are cool mechanics. These are things that I think pushes the industry in different directions. But nobody's talking about it, and it's because Bethesda is not promoting their games. I would really urge you to think back in the past month or so. How many commercials, whether you still have TV or not, or YouTube ads, or banners on the side of your favorite web pages, or links inside of Reddit, wherever you get your news, anywhere. When have you really seen anybody talk about this game, particularly the Bethesda? The answer is probably not much at all. And the real reason for that is because, well, nobody knows. That's the problem, is that Bethesda doesn't believe this game is going to do well. Is it that Bethesda feels that it's better to push Doom Eternal and say, hey, we only have $1 left to spend this month, guys. Let's get another ad out there on Doom Eternal instead of hyping Wolfenstein. I don't know. It's very bizarre to me. Now, as I start playing through the game this weekend with my wife, I'll definitely be able to have a better opinion of that. And as review scores start to trickle out, I think you'll get to see a better sense of what works and doesn't for the game. That said, it's very odd to me that that game isn't really being hyped. Along with that, we have Wolfenstein, the Cyberwolf game that just came out today. That's a VR experience for PlayStation VR and VR-enabled PCs. No advertisement for it at all. It just kind of popped in here. And I don't understand why Bethesda is making these great games and just not really promoting them. Rage didn't get promoted until after the game came out. And it received, I'd say, lackluster to medium reviews. I said I liked it. I beat it. I enjoyed it. I thought the shooting mechanics were great. The story sucked, but I wasn't buying the game to be told a story. I was buying the game to wreck stuff, and I did, and I had a blast with it. So I don't feel like I was sold, a bill of goods there that didn't match what I wanted it to be. However, you would be hard-pressed to find anybody talking about that game. So I guess I pose the question back to Bethesda. It's like, what are you guys doing over there? What is going on? Why are you not promoting your games? Is it because you feel word of mouth is just good enough? Do you think that not a lot of people are interested in Wolfenstein, a real tentpole franchise, that you just don't feel like it needs to be advertised? I'm not really entirely sure. It's very odd to me that so much attention went into Doom Eternal that they totally overlooked the entire year. The fact that Blades came out and really none of my friends who are die-hard Elder Scroll fans knew about it. The fact that Rage came and left. The fact that we've got Wolfenstein Youngblood coming out that a lot of people don't know about. That we've got the Wolfenstein VR experience coming out that nobody really knows about. Kind of just makes you wonder, like, what are you guys doing over there? And I would urge them to say, look, the society that we live in now, this is all about instant access, instant gratification, and because of that, people's attention span is about that big. People move on to a lot of different things. They bounce around from game to game. They bounce around from experience to experience. And hey, you know what? It's a free country. Anybody can do whatever they want, but you have to be cognizant of that. And you have to say, you know what? I have to keep retweeting this and telling people, hey, this game's coming out. Hey, here's a 30-second developer blog. Hey, here's a screenshot of something cool you're going to be able to do. Hey. To get people reminding and thinking about it, because we are constantly being bombarded with information. I don't have Facebook. All I have is Instagram and Twitter. And I can tell you guys, my feeds and my stories that pop up, overwhelming to the point that a lot of times I go there to look for somebody or something very specific, and I tune out the noise. But that's the kind of competition that Bethesda is facing in the society we live in today. So I urge them to say, listen, guys, please try to sell your games. It's silly to not want to promote your stuff unless you don't believe in it. And I can't honestly say that you guys don't believe in your product. Now, maybe there's more to the reason that Tim Willits is leaving than we know. Maybe he saw the writing on the wall and he said, peace out. I'm not entirely sure. If you don't know who Tim Willits is, he was monumental in the formation of all things Bethesda, particularly of Quake and QuakeCon. That said, where's the Quake Champion news? Is that game dead in the water? I guess so. Where's all these, it's just boggling to me. So I guess to wrap this video up, it's definitely turned into more of a tangent than informational, but when I'm passionate about something, that's how I roll. All I could say is this. If you believe in something, you have to stand behind it. I do videos on my channel just about every day to promote my channel, to promote my brand, because it's something that I'm passionate about and it's something that I believe in. When people start talking to me about games, I open up, I talk a lot about things because it's something I'm passionate about. All these developers working on these games that I just mentioned, I mentioned like 6 times in this video, you guys need to get out in front of this stuff. You need to promote your stuff. You need to show pride in your work. You need to talk about the cool things you're doing. You need to put together little documentaries. You need to put together little Instagram stories and Twitter feeds and Facebook mini games and polls and all that stuff, because you're going to get drowned out, and that's exactly what's happening to you guys. Yes, everybody knows Doom Eternal is coming out. Yes, everybody's going to buy Doom Eternal when it comes out. But between now and then, there's a lot of time and a lot of games that are coming out that are basically DOA. And I think that's really frustrating for you guys. And as a fan, it's particularly frustrating because I know you guys can do better. With that, I'd like to close out this video. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you care. Let me know if you think I'm on point, off point, all those wonderful things. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.